Former Federal Reserve economist Vincent Reinhart with us. Vincent, a lot of this is being credited to Jerome Powell saying, I guess, what they typically call dovish or market-friendly comments and hinting that, look, I mean, I'll be very, very careful going forward about hiking rates. But what did you get out of what he said? Is the market getting ahead of itself here, or how do you describe it?
So it's interesting. Jerome Powell said a lot of things. He's always said the Fed will be patient. It will make decisions meeting by meeting. It will be data dependent. But this time he also gave examples of when the Fed paused in 2016 in particular.
Right.
Because financial conditions tightened. So he's basically telling you, we did it before, we can do it again. Don't be surprised if the Fed pauses from the succession of quarterly point rate hikes they did in 2018.
You know, Vincent, I noticed the weirdest things when I listen to any Federal Reserve chief or even officials like you in your days when you would speak to people. And I'd read in between the lines or body language, and maybe overly so, and to my detriment. But I did notice that Powell was constantly referring to notes and kept as if he wanted to get the wording exactly right and not leave any doubt and not say anything off the cuff that would be misconstrued. What did you make of that?
Hey, this was supposed to be a panel conversation, and he led off with an opening address. He didn't want to make any mistakes. He did want to say there was a precedent for pausing. We've done it before. In fact, there are precedents for the two people sitting to the left of me. Don't be surprised if we don't do it again. And so that he was sending a message. So even though he said many of the words he said previously, even though it wasn't that much different than press conference statements, he was telling you something. And when the Federal Reserve Chairman tells you something, you should listen. But, you know, Neil, if you step back, what's the most efficient design principle ever constructed? It's a market economy. And a quarter point up or a quarter point down on the Fed funds rate is not going to derail what is a very robust expansion. The employment report showed we had 312,000 jobs created on net last month. That is above trend. It shows the vigor of the expansion. We added 2.6 million workers in 2018. That's an economy that will be tough to derail.
Yeah, and it'll also be tough to ignore if you're in the Federal Reserve. So I don't want to be the half empty glass guy here, but I find the market's reaction a little interesting, because if you were to accept it at face value that they're interpreting these comments as dovish or market friendly, that he is less inclined and the Federal Reserve is less inclined to raise rates, even in the face of the, as you pointed out, this spectacular jobs report that confirms this recovery is as robust as it ever was. Couldn't you read into that they might be getting behind the eight ball here?
The same people who are worried about the momentum the Fed tightening in December and January will be worrying about the Fed being behind the curve in July and August if they do pause. You know, the plain fact is, if you pause, it's hard to restart. And in some sense, the best lesson, if you want to follow,
what they're doing? I'm sorry to jump on you, my friend. Are you worried that's what they're doing? That if they pause now, it'll lead to problems later?
It's harder to restart a process once you stop. It's physics. A body in motion stays in motion. A body at rest stays at rest. Fed stays at rest. The headlines are going to be not the Fed paused. It'll be the Fed stopping. And it'll be hard to restart. You shouldn't listen to what they say. You should look at what the macroeconomy is doing. And we've got a macroeconomy growing above trend with pressures on resources and wage gains inching up. That's an economy in which the Fed is going to have to tighten at least a couple times in 2019. We should get over that.
So if they don't, that's a problem.
That'll be a problem later in the year.
All right, Vincent, always good chatting with you. Thank you very, very much.
Thank you.
That is one smart gentleman, Vincent Reinhart, the chief economist over at Mellon.